The year was 1775, when a whaling ship sailing off the coast of Greenland spotted something strange in the distance. Through the icy fog, they saw a vessel drifting aimlessly, sails tattered, moving silently with the current. As the crew drew closer, they realized it was not an ordinary ship. It was the Octavius, a vessel thought to have disappeared more than a decade earlier. Boarding the abandoned ship, the whalers stepped into a nightmare frozen in time. The Octavius's decks were covered in ice, ropes stiff as stone, and silence filled the air. Inside the captain's cabin, they discovered a sight so eerie it would haunt sailors' tales forever. The captain sat at his desk, frozen solid, his pen still in hand, as if he had been writing when death took him. The logbook before him recorded the ship's last date, 1762, 13 years earlier. Even more horrifying, the crew of the Octavius was still on board. Below deck, sailors were found frozen in their bunks, preserved by the Arctic cold, their faces locked in expressions of terror. It was as though the entire ship had been turned into a ghostly tomb, drifting silently across the seas for more than a decade. But what had happened to the Octavius? According to legend, the ship had set out from England in 1761, bound for China. After completing its trade, the captain, ambitious and bold, decided to attempt something no European ship had done before: to return to England by sailing through the fabled Northwest Passage. This dangerous Arctic route was believed to connect the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, but it was filled with shifting ice and deadly storms. The Octavius, it seems, became trapped in ice near Alaska. The logbook suggested that the crew froze to death, stranded in the unforgiving polar night with no survivors. The ship drifted, encased in ice, until the currents carried it thousands of miles across the Arctic Ocean, finally releasing it near Greenland. For 13 long years, the Octavius had been a ghost ship, sailing the seas without a living soul. Sailors who told the tales swore it was a true account, but skeptics began to question it. Was the Octavius real, or just a maritime legend meant to warn sailors of the Arctic's dangers? No official naval records mention the ship, and no preserved logbook or artifacts have ever been found. Some historians believe the story may have been inspired by real ships that vanished in the Arctic, such as the Franklin expedition nearly a century later, where crews also perished in ice and starvation. Yet, the Octavius holds a chilling place in maritime lore because of its haunting imagery. The frozen captain, the preserved crew, and the eerie silence of a ship adrift for 13 years strike a deeper fear than any storm. It is the fear of being forgotten, trapped by nature, and claimed by the cold with no one to tell your story. To this day, ghost ship tales continue to capture our imagination, from the Flying Dutchman to the Mary Celeste. But the Octavius remains one of the most terrifying, a reminder that the sea is not just vast and beautiful, but merciless and eternal. Somewhere beneath the ice of the Arctic perhaps still lies a wreck waiting to be found, holding frozen secrets of a voyage that dared to defy the elements. Whether truth or legend, the ghost ship Octavius embodies the haunting power of the unknown, a ship that sailed into history, and perhaps into eternity.